I just like making funny faces at the camera. Okay, so next part of the build log. Right now, I've got it completely assembled. There we go. Nice and assembled it. So what's next up is clear coating. Now, it's already got a gloss clear coat on there along with the oil wash. So part of it is still kind of shiny. So what I was about to do, and I might change my mind now, is hit it with more clear gloss, kind of seal it, and then I was going to do what they call spectral highlighting. Use some masking, either the small stuff or the slightly bigger stuff, and mask off just certain areas that I want to be shinier, and then matte coat it. However, it's already still pretty shiny. My only concern is that the tape might take stuff off. Um, with the oil wash and whatnot. I mean, the oil paint should be dry by now. It's literally been like 6 days, maybe 7. Um, so it should be dry enough. Now I did do some battle damaging and some quick dusting, weathering, stuff like that on it. So it's been through some stuff. Now what I don't want to do is get any kind of tape on top of that stuff. So that's where I'm starting to think that I should go ahead and give it a quick clear coat, at least on the top, because the top is going to be the only one that really matters in this case. And then once I've got that done, let that dry, get some good shiny spots, um, and then matte coat it after that. My worry is that like I don't want it to be looking like it's too thick, but I want to be able to seal some of that dust and stuff that's there, but I don't want to lose any shininess. It's kind of problematic. It's almost like I'd rather like hit certain spots and then do the rest. But I don't know. Maybe I'll do a quick test strip, so to speak. Just put some tape on in one little spot and then peel it off and then see what happens. Because if that takes too much off and it looks like, oh crap, now I've got an area that is no longer dirty when it should be, then that will be my concern. But realistically, this is the end of it. It's just clear coating, and like I said, some spectral highlighting, which just means making some areas shinier than others so they stand out when your eyes catch it. But I also don't want that to be like blatantly like halfway through a burn mark and like, oh, it's shiny all of a sudden. No. So like some areas that are just not damaged, so to speak. So, like I said, I think I'll go ahead and do a quick little test run with just some tape, make sure it's not taking anything off, and then if that's fine, then I'll just go ahead and do what I got to do. So this is going to be the final day, hopefully, um, of working on this project. It's been fun, but I'm kind of ready to move on to the next thing. Oh, and I did do some dry brushing of the regular paint color over some areas just to highlight things. So yay for that. I'm in the living room obviously because I want to watch some My Hero Academia. So yay for that. Okay, so just a little bit of masking applied here and there, and I'm just gonna go ahead and hit this thing with a matte coat. I was thinking semi-gloss, but I think matte's gonna be more effective. I'm going to do a semi over it if I need to, but I'm just gonna kind of hold it in one hand and hit it with the other, and then when it's dry I can flip it over and do the bottom side. I'm not too worried about doing the spectral highlighting on the bottom, just covering it for the sake of covering it basically. But let's go. What's up guys? So this is an addendum to the build logs for the Star Destroyer. I haven't done the review and everything like that yet, so I'm going to do something else. So I have this last little bit here that is just a spare back plate because you needed a repeat for this. I'm going to try a different experiment with Aztecing. And it's something I've been talking to my friends about, explaining how to do it and stuff like that. And I want to see if this technique will work. It's a branch of the technique that I started with in practice using only clear coats, no paint. So I'm not going to paint this with the exception of the starship filth. So what I'm going to end up doing, I'm going to clear coat this with a matte finish first, let it dry, and then I'm going to do a little bit of Aztecing, putting little bits of tape on there. I mean, obviously it's not a large surface area, so I'll just do what I can so that it'll stand out. Then I'm going to let that dry, or clear coat that with gloss and then hit it with the Starship filth. Let it dry, peel it off, and re-clear coat it, and see how that Aztecing works using only clear coat and the bare plastic, because I kind of want to do another one of these builds, but I don't want to have to go full paint, and this might be a way to do that because of the way that the Starship filth grips to non-glossy surfaces. May end up just darkening those surfaces enough to actually have an Aztecing effect without doing a full paint job. And if that's the case, I'm totally doing it again, just for fun. So, but spare part, gonna make it happen. Let's check it out. Progress. So you can see it's all nice and flat, and I've added some quick little Aztecing using just my little 3mm and cut into multiple sizes of things. So I'm gonna hit that with a gloss coat, which is actually warming up outside because I have my paint and everything put away in the closet outdoors. So it's all cold. I need it to be warm. So give it a couple gloss coats and then let it dry and then peel it away. Okay, so gloss coat has been applied. I don't know why I just tilted it. I tilted the wrong thing. That was weird. So, and I can see right there, I had to catch the light. You can see the spots that I'm going for with the tape. Got my gunkuosh, my palette. This is what I was looking for. And gloves is. And old pair of underwear to wipe it clean. So I'm gonna go ahead quickly do this and do the thing, and we'll see what the results look like. Alright, since I kind of forgot to check in, so it's been many days since I tried this, so you can see the results here. Honestly, it didn't really do as much as I wanted it to, so maybe getting it really roughed up would make a big difference. I mean, it looks fine, but it doesn't stand out the same way as actually painting a thing would be, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So as builds and everything else going for this, that's pretty much done for that. But it's pretty much review time. So we're gonna go deal with that. Always a good way to start a vlog thingy by having a big old sniff. Okay, so this thing, not that, this here. So this is going to be the kind of last thing for the Star Destroyer build logs, which I still have to compile the rest of that last bit of footage. But there's something I did. I did a thing. Now, for a while now, I've had comments that whenever I do something that's very white or light colored, that I really should change up my background to add contrast, and the reality is, yeah, I should do that. So I went to the Lobby of Hobbies yesterday and found some black cloth fabric, as it were. So I got two different types of fabric. This, which is very similar to the muslin that I already kind of use. So it's a heavier texture, or heavier stuff, but still smooth texture. But then I also got this, which is felt-like in nature. That's super soft and pliable. I don't know which one's going to work best. That's why I got both. Now I can see here, this has a much fuzzier and flat kind of thing. This is very just straight. So what I'm going to do, prior to filming this thing, I'm going to lay some of this out and see what's up. But this would also give me, like, and mind you, I'm not going to replace my background with this. I'm just going to kind of overlay it when I need it. I really do need to take like a lint roller to my regular setup as it is. Get my... This is how I polish my turntable. Like, legit, that's how I tend to polish my turntable. Okay, so... And the cool thing is, they had a sale on all their fabrics by the yard. Were like 40% off. So while one of these was like $5.99 a yard, the other one was $7.99 a yard, got nearly 50% off. So that's awesome. And in theory, I didn't buy too much like I did with the white stuff. Like, I think I bought 3 yards of white muslin. So, like, if you guys have ever seen my set as it sits, so it's nailed to the wall up there, well, tacked to the wall, and then you have all this overhang. So I actually have well more than enough fabric, and it's doubled. So if I ever wanted to get a much larger desk to work with, I totally could. But what I'm going to try to do is hang up this. This is the softer stuff. But I think I might film the box review first because the box is just big and black, so that might work against the white background as it is. I was wondering what was up here. This light's not on. Now it's on. The other option is either next time, I don't know when I'll do it, I want to get brighter bulbs. Like, really, so I don't have to set my screen brightness so high. I don't have to set my exposure up. My worry is that it'll overcompensate if I use brighter bulbs. I don't know if that's a legit concern. But see, I gotta pick up a lot of this crap that's just laying around. Little bits and bobs here. Now, I don't think I'm going to go so far as to try to tuck this under the uprights, because that's the dangerous territory where this wants to fall off. I still need to buy the flat feet for this thing, which is literally the same kind of 90-degree bend piece, but it would be flat on the bottom instead of round, so it would be less likely to slip and fall. So just real quick though, let's lay this out in a useful manner. I'm really gonna have to take lint cloth to it, or lint roller, because there's hair and stuff all over this, even other fabric. See, my worry is that it's not, or it's too reflective. But in theory, like, that looks good. Look at that. Kind of like it. So I have to open it up. So this is black, so it should be okay. The other option is I use both. One that'll block out the white, because I have a feeling like you'll be able to see through it to a degree. And then the other as the top piece. So let's just figure it out without dropping everything. That's the hard part, to not drop everything. Okay, now that I've filmed the intro part and the intro for something else, you'll have to wait and see. I'm going to see what I can do here, because this is going to be interesting. Need my push pins first. Oh, you can probably barely hear me, so that. And then, of course, La Fabrique. Move the boxes out of my way over here. Now see, look, even my clippy that normally holds the fabric in place over here is popped off. Need a couple of normal thumbtacks. Now what I'm really hoping here is that I have more than enough fabric to get this done, but now I'm starting to wonder if I don't. Like, length should be okay. I'm kind of worried about width. Yeah, I feel like I need to be worried about width. So let's pull this in here. In theory, I can just pin it over the old one. Okay. Excuse me, chair. And that's where my concern immediately came from. All right. So, once again, the issue presents itself. So, width-wise is narrower than my area here. I think this cut isn't really straight either. So let's see what I can do here. I don't think it won't work to have it tacked to the wall, which means I need to secure it to something else. In theory, I can just clip it up here in place using these guys. We'll see what happens. Just clip it to the white fabric. Sort of limited in the space I can work with here. Okay. I don't know if I have another clip I can just use. Now mind you, this is a temporary thing because I'm not going to use this for everything. I feel like I'm getting tangled up in some wires here. Because I am. And this is one problem with the way I have my set done. Is occasionally I have to like basically climb inside it. Okay, so I do have a push pin right there. That'll help. And then I can clip this up here in this corner just to hold it. In theory, that'll work. Just hit my head. Okay. Now I need to, well, that didn't work too well. Okay, so gonna have to pin it down ever so slightly underneath things, like so, and then try to reclip that again. Doesn't help to have this hard seam running down it. Okay, that may or may not work, we'll see. Really want to eliminate some corners here. Okay, so in theory, that's not too bad. It does seem to have the exact same wrinkle problem right there. So let me see if I can deal with that. So one problem with sort of trying to have a infinite looking background is just that you have to have a soft slope to deal with. Now, I guess the real test is just to literally test it out. The other option is try the other fabric and see what it looks like. Now this has quite a lot of dust on it, which is incredibly annoying, if I'm honest. So before we do that, I'm just gonna neglect that. I'm gonna see if I can take some pictures and see how it looks. Because definitely, it's not bad. Now, one thing is, like, whenever you have like a photo booth that has like a black background and stuff, it usually, I don't know what that was. It usually has very non-reflective materials. Usually very matte, very non-reflective. So there's no shine. That's how they can get like a fairly kind of flat, not reflective look. And it looks like there's literally no background. This, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna try taking some pictures real quick.